Good evening, South Africa and Zimbabwe. Welcome to Global Education's virtual expo for September. We've got in week 5 that's just got underway today, and we've got University of Kent with us this evening. You're going to be listening to Charlie Greenwood, who's the international officer that works directly with Global Education. She's lovely to deal with. Our senior counselors all are in good contact with Charlie. In this webinar, you're going to learn a little bit more about University of Kent, what's installed, a little bit about recruitment side of things as well in terms of grades and things that you need to be aware of to apply. But please put your questions in the chat box and don't be shy, put them in. Me and Charlie will discuss them at the end. And it's great to have her directly here where, you know, we can't travel at the moment, but that can't stop us from getting the right information to you all. So remember, we're Global Education. We help you with your counseling process and we'll help you identify what the right place to study. So without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hand over to Charlie.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And good evening. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming along today. And if you're watching recorded online, then hello as well. Thank you so much for the introduction, George. So the aim of today is I'm just going to try and give you a little bit of an overview of the University of Kent, the kinds of things that we offer to our students, what kind of options there are available with us. And you're also going to see a couple of videos of the campus, hear from some of our current and past students too, so you get a little bit of them. And it's not just me, but then we're going to leave plenty of time at the end for discussion and for questions as well. So if you see anything and you think, oh, that sounds a bit interesting, then, you know, do note down any questions you've got. If you don't see something that you think, oh, I wonder about that, then just let us know at the end. We'll have lots of time to make sure that we can talk to you specifically about what it is that you're interested in. So just going to quickly bring up this presentation now, and we'll get started on a bit of a chat and be able to share a bit more with you about the university. So again, my name's Charlie. I'm an international officer at the University of Kent, and I specifically work with our students coming from countries right across Africa to help you to make the right choices about your university decision, essentially. So if you've got questions, if you want to know about programs, entry requirements, scholarships, anything at all, you can just come to me, let me know, and I'll be able to help. Work very, very closely with our staff, our colleagues at Global Education as well. So, you know, you can also ask lots of questions of them, but they can always contact us too if there's something really detailed that you need to know, and there's just anything that will help you with making your decision. So a little bit about us first and where we are based. So University of Kent is a university based in the UK. We are primarily based in the southeast of England. You can see on this map here that I've brought up that we also have some campuses marked here in France and in Belgium. So as well as having 2 campuses in the UK that offer both undergraduate and postgraduate study, so bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and PhDs. We also have a couple of specialized postgraduate centers in Europe. So one in Brussels in Belgium and one in Paris in France that teach some very specific subjects, which it just really, really helps to have based in those specific cities. So if you are thinking of any overseas study, then we actually have some campus locations in mainland Europe as well. Now, don't worry if you don't see a country on there that you would like to study in. We actually also have a lot of overseas study opportunities built into quite a few of our undergraduate degree programs. So students get the opportunity to go and study in another country as well as the UK as part of their course if they would like to. And if that's something that you've been thinking about, or if it's not something you've been thinking about, but you'd like to know more because it sounds interesting, then do feel free to ask us some questions afterwards. So most of this presentation, we're going to be talking about our main campuses in Canterbury and in Medway, which are in the UK. You can see here on the map that they are both quite close to London. So our Canterbury campus is approximately 50 minutes by train from London, and our Medway campus is a bit closer. It's more like 45 minutes. So really close, really accessible, very easy to get to and from the main airports in the UK to the campus. And also just if you want to explore the country a little bit more, it's quite helpful being close to London because it's very easy to then get to anywhere else that you want to go. Helps as well being quite close to London. There's a lot of buzz, there's a lot to do, but being a little further out, it's a more affordable place to live than London is. You're also close to the coast, you've got a lot of outdoor space, and outdoor activities are really popular where we're based as well. So again, if you want to know more about that, then you can talk to me afterwards. So there's a little highlight here. You can see on this picture in the top left-hand corner, this is our Canterbury campus. So it's quite spread out. There's a lot of outdoor space, green space. It's not kind of buildings built on top of each other. You've got lots of room to explore and lots of room to spread out while you're at the university as well. So it's not a claustrophobic environment at all. The city of Canterbury itself is really beautiful. It's a lovely place to live. It's a lovely place to study. There are actually quite a few universities in the city. So there are lots of students, lots of activities really geared towards students too. So aside from your studies, there's plenty going on to keep you interested and to keep you entertained for your time at university. Canterbury is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so it's got lots and lots to explore, as well as I said earlier, being quite close to London, so that you can explore the country a bit more too. Now, we're a true campus university, so that means the campus itself has our teaching buildings, it's got accommodation, it's got social spaces, sports facilities, things like a medical centre as well, restaurants, cafes, shops. So really everything you need in one place. Just makes your life at university and getting settled in really nice and easy, especially once you're new to the university, new to the country, and you just want to get to know your way around. So I thought what we could do as well is show you a little tour of the Canterbury campus. So hopefully this video will load shortly, and we're able to show you one of our students actually giving you a tour. She just finished at the university when she recorded this for us. So she had spent 3 years here on the campus, so she knows exactly what's going on and what everything is like. So let's hear a little bit more from Olga now and to show you around the Canterbury campus.
Hi, my name is Olga. Welcome to the University of Kent's Canterbury campus. So this is Templeman Library. It's got so much study spaces for you and your friends to get some work done. It's got over 1 million books and journals for you to do your work, and also the library staff are a dedicated team of people to help you and answer any questions that you might have. So welcome to the Plaza. This is normally where the hub of activity takes place on campus. There's loads of places to eat and drink with your friends with. There's also a bookshop and also one of the 2 of the co-ops on campus. Behind me is a sports centre here at the University of Kent. There's something for everyone. There's a gym, fitness and dance studios, martial arts training areas, and even a physio clinic. With sport and fitness at the University of Kent, you name it, we got it. Not far from the sports centre, you have Parkwood Student Village. Parkwood is an amazing place to meet amazing people. I met some of my best friends here in my first year. There's other areas to live on campus, such as Keynes, Turin and Darwin. Parkwood is next to our campus pub Woody's, which is a great place to relax and socialise with friends. So across the street from Parkwood, you have the sports field under Pavilion. On Wednesdays, sports teams can be found training or playing against other unis. In quieter times, it's a great place to chill and keep to any social distancing rules. So we're back in the centre of campus and we're outside the Gulbenkian. The Gulbenkian is a place of entertainment here on campus. It's a cinema, it's a theatre, it's also got a music hall called the Qualifications, which will all be open once lockdown has been eased. But the Gulbenkian has so many shows, whether that's comedy, theatre, dance, and if you're part of a performance society here at the University of Kent, you might have the opportunity to perform here just like I did when I was a student. So saving the best place for last, it's many people's favourite places on campus. It's the one and only, the campus green. It's got a wonderful view of the cathedral, plenty of wide open space, and what better view to have of the city of Canterbury.
Okay, so hopefully that was a helpful overview of the campus. Olga talking about then that things were kind of going to be reopening once lockdown was lifted. She filmed that for us in the summer, and the campus is now reopened. We'll touch on that a little bit more later because that's obviously really important as well. But for the time being, we'll talk just a little bit about the kinds of courses and programs that we offer at the University of Kent, because being able to choose a university that offers exactly the course that you want is a really important factor in when you're picking your university. It might even be one reason that you want to come to the UK specifically, because you can choose a very specific course from your first year of study. You don't have to study lots of general education classes if you don't want to. You can really focus in on what it is that you're passionate about and what you would like to focus on. So I won't list every single one of the courses that we offer right now. Again, we can go through that a little bit later once we've got to the Q&A and the discussion towards the end of the session today. But we offer over 400 different undergraduate programs and around 120 different postgraduate courses too. And they fall, broadly speaking, into 3 different areas that we've got up on the screen at the moment. Within the humanities, we have courses in kind of arts and architecture, English and also European languages and culture, music and audio technology and production, and also history. Going into the sciences, we have things like our biosciences school. We also have our medical school, the Kent Medway Medical School, and pharmacy. We offer sports and exercise science, physical sciences, mathematics, statistics and actuarial studies, also engineering and digital arts programs, and also computing. And then in the social sciences, which actually makes up the bulk of our courses, we offer a lot of different programs in law, in business and accounting, in anthropology and conservation, economics, finance, journalism, politics and international relations, psychology, and also social policy, social work, sociology, and social research. So there's a really wide variety of different courses. Also at Kent, we offer quite a lot of joint honours combinations. So what this means is that in your undergraduate programme, you can study a programme that is balanced 50-50 between 2 different subject areas. We also offer some that are a 75-25 split. So again, if you want to know more, let me know. This allows students to combine subjects like law, which are traditionally studied alone as an undergraduate programme in the UK, with other areas of interest. You might want to combine it with management. You might want to combine it with politics and international relations. There are lots of different offers and lots of different options available, giving you lots of flexibility. Now, we also offer, as well as our standard courses, options to add in year and industry placements, which gives you the chance to get a full year of work experience, all as part of your student experience at university, which means the university will help you and assist you in finding a suitable placement. But also, as I mentioned earlier, the option to study abroad. Many of our courses come with that choice too. You can choose to study at a university in Europe that the University of Kent is partnered with, or somewhere further afield, and we have options which include places in the USA and Canada, Japan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and many, many more. So if you'd like to further internationalize your study, not just come and study in the UK, but study in more than one country, then that's an option for you at Kent as well. I can give you more specific information later if you would like to know more about it. A little snapshot here of the university and the university makeup, because that's pretty important too. What kind of environment are you coming into? What kind of environment do you want to choose? Now at Kent, we're sort of a medium-sized university in the UK. We have around 20,000 students studying with us at the moment. Now 24% of those students are overseas students. They come from outside of the UK. That's from a very wide variety of different countries. We have 159 different nationalities of students enrolled on our programs right now. So really, whatever class you're in, whatever you've chosen to study, you're never going to be the only student in the room who's not local to the area, the only student in the room who's not from the UK. You'll meet and study with a really wide variety of different people from very different backgrounds. That includes our academic staff as well. Around 40% of our academic staff are originally from outside the UK. We also find that's really, really helpful for international students, because those staff understand what it's like moving to another country and living and settling in another country, and just helps them to be even more supportive when you're getting used to a new environment too, and you're getting used to study. I mentioned some of those study links and partnerships that allow our students to study abroad as well. We have partnerships with around 400 institutions worldwide to allow our students that mobility and that amount of choice. We're a TEF Gold ranked university. The TEF is called the Teaching Excellence Framework, and that is a UK government initiative to rank universities by the quality of their undergraduate teaching. Kent was given the gold rating, which is the highest possible rating. We've particularly commended on the quality of our teaching and the outcomes that our students get from university, meaning that we really try to make sure that every student, irrespective of their background, gets the absolute most from their course. There are also lots of options to work while you study. I talked about our year in industry placements and our professional experience, but there are lots of different things you can do alongside your course as well. If you don't want to take out a whole year to get work experience, there are lots of opportunities for schemes that go on during the summer holidays, and also to get jobs alongside your course of study. We're really careers focused, and one of the things that we want to do with our students is build confidence for them in their skill set. Build a skill set, make sure that they are then able to really communicate that to potential employers, so that when you come to find a job or further study opportunities after university, you've got a really great selection of different new skills that you can showcase to employers, and make sure that you come out as the best possible candidate for the options that you're applying to. You'll also get a globally recognised degree. UK degrees and UK professional qualifications are very widely recognised around the world. So it means if you do something like an accountancy or a law programme, you have quite a lot of opportunities to use that qualification elsewhere as well. I thought it might be interesting to hear from some of our students and also some of our staff about why you might want to choose Kent as an option. So we've got another video coming up here, and we'll be just talking about some of the main reasons that you might wish to choose Kent as a university to study at.
Hi, my name's Charlie. I'm an international officer here at the University of Kent. I've been doing this job for about 4 years, and I mostly travel to Africa and look after our students from the African region.
Hi, I'm Emma. I am an international officer at the University of Kent, and I look after South Asia and Turkey.
My name is Xiaofan, and I'm from China. I came to UK about 6 years ago, and I did my A-levels here.
Yeah, my name is Samuel Oluwaseyi Oduyela. I was born and raised in Nigeria, and I've been living in America for the past 17 years. I moved to the United Kingdom last year.
The University of Kent is situated in the beautiful county of Kent, where we have 2 campuses. Our main one is on the outskirts of the historic city of Canterbury, and the other in Medway. Both of them are under an hour from London. We also have specialist postgraduate centres in Brussels and Paris, so wherever you study, you'll be in a stunning location.
The city centre is full of history, and I love to walk on the city walls and the gardens. I had campus tour, and the view was really nice. So I guess the course and the really beautiful campus made my decision to Kent.
Our teaching quality is reflected in the fact that we are rated gold in the Teaching Excellence Framework. Many of our programs feature in the top 200 of the QS Word rankings and in the top 20 in the UK rankings. Our research intensity was also ranked number 17 in the UK.
We have students and academics from all over the world, so you'll be part of a very multicultural, diverse community. You'll also be joining a very supportive community. People are always on hand to make sure you feel supported in all areas, whether it's help with your academic studies, accommodation and your physical and mental well-being. We also have a great careers and employability service, and our courses really prepare you for a successful career, which means that over 95% of Kent undergraduate students who responded to a survey are in work or further study within 6 months.
Some of the workshops we attend as postgraduate students also help us with that, telling you what did you want to do after your PhD, what programs do you have, what plans do you have, if this is your plan A, do you have plan B? So I learned all that here, so that will be useful for me when I get out.
And also we have some like employment events and career centers, which also are helpful.
We have a wide range of different subjects at all levels: international foundation, bachelor's, master's, or a PhD. And for those of you who are looking to improve your English language skills, we also have a pre-sessional and in-sessional English language programs.
We also offer a medicine programme at the Kent and Medway Medical School. A lot of information about all of the programmes can be found on the courses pages of our website. Here you'll find details such as the cost, the location and length of the programmes, as well as quite detailed information about exactly what you will be studying.
Okay, so just a little bit more there about why students should study with us and some of the reasons that we know that our students choose to come to us as a university. So to move on now, talk a little bit about the environment on campus. As an international student, you might choose to actually live on the campus as well as to study there. That's a really popular option amongst our students. And in fact, all of our first year undergraduate students are guaranteed a space in our on-campus accommodation. This is really nice, kind of really easy and convenient when you're settling into a new place, particularly if you're settling into a new country as well. It means that you can kind of get comfortable and familiar with the campus environment first before you explore the area a little bit more widely. So we've got over 6,500 rooms at the university for our students. Different types of rooms as well, different facilities. You can have self-catered accommodation, you can have bed and bistro accommodation, which means that you get some of your meals, or flex catering, which allows you to eat at most of the restaurants around campus. So if you're not such a cook, then it's okay. You've got options available to you. You can choose from ensuite or shared facilities. There are differences in prices with these different options, so you can find something that meets your requirements, but that also fits within your budget, and that's really important too. Now, the cost for campus accommodation starts from just under £4,000 for the academic year. As well as your accommodation, that cost includes gym membership for your year. It includes insurance for your belongings in your room, and it includes all of your bills, your Wi-Fi and internet access on the campus and in your room too. So it's inclusive of most things. Some of the costs will also include food, but it depends which option you choose. We have got an accommodation tour here as well, so that we can show you around some of our accommodation and you can have a look inside and see exactly what it's like and exactly what one of the options is. You can also go onto our website and we have a 360 virtual tour that you can do anytime you like and look around all the different accommodation options that are available so you can see what's on offer. I went to university quite a long time ago and the accommodation was not as nice when I was there. So the options at Kent really are great and they're very welcoming, very nice place to stay. So we'll just have a quick look at some of those.
Hello everybody, my name's Dave. I'm an administrator here at Wolf College Accommodation at the University of Kent. So Wolf College is just on the edge of the Canterbury campus, but we are only a 3-minute walk away from the rest of the campus and all its amenities. We are really close to all of the academic buildings, so if you have any early morning lectures, it's not the end of the world if you oversleep, as well as other parts of the campus such as the Gulbenkian Theatre, Darwin Bar, and we also have a bus stop where you can get regular buses down into the city centre. Canterbury is an absolutely amazing city. There's lots of history, there's lots of bars, there's lots of pubs, and there's a lot of shops as well. So I'm really excited to be able to show you around one of our flats here. Firstly, we're starting off in one of our large kitchens. You'll be sharing this kitchen with up to 7 other students. So as you can see, we've got lots of various fridge freezers here. We've got our hob, and we have a nice seating area where you and your flatmates can sit, as well as a seating area just here as well. So I will now go and show you one of the rooms. And as I'm walking there, I will tell you about the app that we use at Wolf College. So we use an app called Home at Pools, which means that students can keep up to date with all the different events going on campus. We like to do a lot of charity events as well as student engagement events. The good thing about the Home at Pools app as well is that you can give us some feedback or even report any issues, whether they're maintenance, whether it's cleaning in your room, so that we can go and sort them as soon as we can. So as you can see here, we've got our single room. This is very spacious. We do have our single bed just here. We have our notice board. We also have a very spacious desk where you can do all of your studying, as well as a lot of storage and this wardrobe. So all of our rooms are en suite. As you can see here, we have our shower, we have a toilet, and we have our sink and bathroom mirror. All rooms in Wolf will have this. We also have the Wolf Academic Building, and as part of that, we do have a common room which our postgraduate students can use. So that pretty much ends our tour today. If you have any questions, please do let us know, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you at Wolf very soon.
Okay, so hopefully that was just a helpful look around so you can get an idea of what the accommodation's like and what it would be like if you choose to live on the campus. Most things are taken care of, so it is a really nice option if you're settling into the UK for the first time and if you're new to the area as well. Now, something else that's really important and that the university invests a lot of time is making sure that our students feel supported and that our facilities are constantly being updated and are updated in line with what students tell us they need and what they would like. So firstly, a little bit of information about when you can start your programs with us if you are thinking of studying at the University of Kent. Undergraduate degree programs all start in September. So we have just welcomed this week and last week our new students onto the campus. It's been really busy. There have been lots of events going on. It's been a really exciting time to be at the university. Now, we do have foundation and postgraduate courses too. The majority of those have September start dates as well, but many also have the option to begin the program in January. So there is a little bit more flexibility with your start dates for our foundation and our postgraduate courses. We're currently operating a blended teaching program. That is due in part to ongoing government guidelines in the UK to do with COVID, but also as part of the university recognising that we need to keep our students as safe as possible, particularly those students arriving to us who've not yet had chance to be vaccinated if they would like to receive vaccinations against COVID. What this means is that some of your lectures will be delivered online for the time being. This allows you to watch your lecture and to get involved with your lecture from anywhere that's convenient to you. That might be your room on campus, that might be the library, that might be in a cafe with your headphones in. It's completely up to you. But we have face-to-face teaching as well, so not everything you're doing this term is online. We are moving back towards all face-to-face teaching. It's our aim that by January we'll be able to deliver all of our courses completely in person, so that you will have exactly the normal university experience, but we will only do that if it's in line with government guidelines at the time. So we're prepared to be flexible and to change that if we need to keep our students and to keep our staff safe on the campus. Now, in terms of support, we have got the Kent Union, so that's our students' union. They look after student wellbeing. They have an advice centre for students who can assist with questions you might have about housing, about finances, about employment, looking for jobs, about health issues, and also about visa advice. So if you ever need assistance on any of those areas, we've got a dedicated support system on the campus for you. We also have full support from the international team at Kent, so myself and the other international officers and the rest of the international office staff too. Our reason for being on the campus is to help you, and we have a physical presence on the campus as well. We do allow students to drop into the office again now that we're back on the campus and we're open for face-to-face interactions. So you can come and chat to us too. If you're not sure where to go for assistance or help, then our doors are always open for you. We're excellent facilities, and these are all still available to our students, whether that's our sports facilities we saw a little of on the campus tour earlier, our music and theatre facilities, our cinema, that's all open again. So that's all going on. We've been running lots of outdoor events too, just to make sure that we can have large capacity events that everyone can enjoy, but run them in the safest way we possibly can. We've got a lot of new workspaces set up. We've got new access plans for students, including one-way systems, so that you're staying safe in the spaces that you use on a regular basis. Now, the campus accommodation, as we mentioned earlier, is guaranteed for all our first-year students. We've also got dedicated accommodation for postgraduate students, so it's a little more peaceful and it's kept separate from our undergraduate accommodation options too. Now, in terms of what you should be doing if you're thinking of applying this year in 2021, 2022, this is a great time to be thinking about your university choices, a great time to be thinking about putting in an application and also starting that application process. Once you've been able to speak to a few different universities, decide upon your course options, now is a great time to start thinking about writing your application and actually getting it submitted. Talking about applications, it's important to think about what you might need in order to study at the university in terms of academic qualifications. Now, for South African students at the university, we directly accept NSC and IEB exams for entry onto our undergraduate degree courses. We also accept all different international qualifications such as A-levels, International Baccalaureate, American High School Diploma. There's a lot of different qualifications you can gain that will get you entry into the university. So if you'd like to know a bit more, you can let us know. Again, the counselling team at Global Education are really well briefed on this, so you can chat to them as well and they can help you. Now, for our postgraduate courses, we ask either for a second class upper or second class lower for entry onto a master's degree. Depends upon the course. Again, if you're not too sure, if you'd like to know a bit more, then you can let me know. I'll be happy to give you further, more detailed information on that. Many of our undergraduate programs also offer a foundation route. So that's available for students who've either not studied a qualification that's as high a level as the NSC and IEB, or for students who perhaps studied that qualification, but they still need to do a little bit of study before they actually begin their university degree to help raise their grades a little bit. So we've got foundation programs available at the university too. Our foundation programs are run by the University of Kent. They take place on the same campus, and as a student on our foundation, you have access to exactly the same facilities as all the rest of our students. So you're not separate, you're not in a different location, you're taking advantage of everything on the campus as well. It's important to realise with some subjects, and I'm thinking about things like architecture in particular here, but also certain things like journalism, there may be portfolio requirements, there may be additional admissions tests that you need to take too. So again, I can run through these things a little bit later in the Q&A and make sure you've got that information as well. For most courses, you won't have to take a separate English language test if you want to come and study with us. Just an NSC or IEB English at grade 5 or above will be sufficient. Put down the tuition fees here. Now, these fees are for the 2021 academic year that's just started. We're just awaiting confirmation of what the fees will be for 2022. They may rise a little bit in line with inflation in the UK, but it won't be a large rise. So this is a good guideline to give you. Most fees are £16,800 per year for entry onto our courses. Some of the sciences courses that involve a lot of laboratory-based work are a little more expensive. They are £20,500 per year for those programs. We do have some scholarships available. We have our international student scholarships available, for example, which are worth £3,000 per year of study. Those are open to both undergraduate and postgraduate taught students on master's programs. We also have sports and music scholarships too, and you can visit our website for more information on all of those, or again, you can ask me at the end if you'd like to know more. It's also important here to put in some information about the 2-year graduate visa now open in the UK. For those students who have completed a bachelor's degree or higher, you are automatically able to apply for a 2-year graduate visa, which allows you to stay and work in the UK to get some really valuable work experience, and also help from the university's careers department on beginning your career in your chosen area. Got some information about our COVID-19 response here. The university campus is very much open, although some of our teaching and some assessments are still taking place online, just to make sure that we're creating a safe environment for our students. Our September term started as usual with blended learning method that I explained earlier. And there are also some remote study options available for the start of term. So for students who have not been able to travel to the UK easily, or who have faced any delays in obtaining their visa, many of our courses are allowing you to begin your studies online, just to give you a bit of flexibility and a bit more time to get to the UK to begin your degree. We've kept our accommodation open the whole time that there has been government lockdowns in the UK. That means that even when most students were at home and the universities were physically closed, our accommodation remained open for students who needed it. So you would never be asked to leave university accommodation due to the COVID situation. The university itself has been working with researchers at other universities such as Imperial College on formulating response to COVID. And we've also been working very closely with hospitals in the local area and medical professionals to help provide them with essential equipment for tackling the healthcare crisis that we've faced worldwide. Now, COVID vaccinations are also available for everyone over the age of 18 in the UK. They're being rolled out at the moment still, and we even have a pop-up vaccination centre on the campus. So students who perhaps weren't able to get a vaccine before they left home to come to the UK are able to get one really easily once they reach here, if they would like one. Now, I thought I'd include this as well. We've got a lot of student profiles on our website. So if you want to see what students think of the university, what they have to say about their courses, then we've got lots of resources available online. And I also put up some contact details here. So you can get hold of us very easily by email or by phone or WhatsApp. We have a lot of virtual visits and we have a lot of online visit details available too. We appreciate not everyone can travel to the UK and travel to the campus in person at the moment. So we are running virtual visits. We have 3 virtual open days coming up in October for our undergraduate students, and we also have further postgraduate events coming up in November. So if you'd like to take part in those, you can book onto one of those on our website. You can come and speak to our current students, you can speak to academic staff, lecturers and professors as well as having some representatives there from the international office. So really that concludes the presentation today. We are now, I think, going to open up some Q&As. So let me close that down. George, shall I leave up these contact details or shall I?
Leave them up for now and then we can sort of move.
Okay, perfect.
All good, no stress, Charlie. Charlie, thank you for the presentation. It was really interesting to see the level of exposure that students can sort of study at Kent. They're not limited to just, you know, a few certain courses there. They've got a huge selection to decide on. When Global's counseling its students, it always talks about finding your passion first. You know, find what you really want to do and then explore that and then, you know, hone down the application process to the right university. With that being said, the faculties at Kent, are they the big types of lecture researchers, like those huge things you see in the movies, or the classrooms quite small? You mentioned a bit of blended hybrid. Could you go a little bit more into what it would be like on a day-to-day basis studying at Kent?
Yes, of course. So in terms of class sizes, if you think about that first, depending on the course that you're studying, you could be in classes of anywhere up to 300 people when you're sitting in a lecture. If you are, for example, a first-year law student studying some compulsory modules, there will be lots of other students studying the same things with you. At the moment, those are being offered online, but when we get back to full face-to-face teaching, you'll be in one of our big lecture theatres with lots of other students in there as well, and a lecturer delivering classes to you kind of live and in person. But what is important to realise is that however big one of your lectures might be, every topic that you cover, every subject that you go through will then be followed up with a smaller in-person session. So that would be a seminar or a practical session where there are a small enough number of people in the group that everyone has the chance to speak and be heard and ask questions and test their understanding of whatever new topic has been introduced. So that's really important. For some subjects, such as law, it's more likely to be a seminar. Some subjects, such as mechanical engineering or, say, biomedical science, will have a lot of practical sessions where you're building really important skills actually in a lab setting with a lot of different equipment around you that you're going to learn to use, but also a lot of support around you from professors, from teaching assistants, and also from kind of professional lab staff too. So those are the different kinds of kind of learning sessions that you might have at the moment.
Yeah, it's like it's a new world out there when you think of students, how much access they've got to storing information and planning their days out, getting the recording as well. Just like this webinar, being able to see it their own time and go through it maybe with their parents. It's fascinating to see the changes in education. Is Kent really focusing on the future as well? And how do they sort of prepare their students for that future? Are they doing a lot more career days? I see the virtual open days here are quite, there's quite a few events here. I've got the website open on my screen looking at it, which is interesting. So any students listening in on this, please do go to that website and I will share the links after the webinar. But Charlie, the career day functions and the career support, how does that work? Because Anesha's just asked the question here and she says, do you help undergrads look for jobs during the placement years?
We do, yes. So there are a lot of different layers of career support at the university. And that's brilliant because that just means there are a huge number of opportunities available to you. Now, speaking specifically about placements and finding placement support, every one of our academic departments that offers placement programs has got a dedicated employability and or placement officer, and they are there to help you source your placement. They're there to help you find a placement. They're also there to help you with your application and help you to prepare for interview. Now, we have a number of companies that we work with, quite large businesses, sometimes quite small, who have essentially a standing number of placements open to Kent students every year. But that doesn't mean that you are constrained by that. If you have an idea for placement you would like to do, a particular environment you would like to work in, even a particular country you would like to undertake your placement in, it doesn't have to be in the UK, and we'll support you provided it's relevant and it actually supports the learning outcomes of your program. Then we'll support you in finding something that you want so it fits with your ideals. You won't just be allocated to something that isn't necessarily what you want to do. We'll also stay in touch with you through that placement year, so you're not just going out unsupported by the university. You still have regular contact with the university. You keep kind of reflective diary of your time on your placement and what you're learning so that you can make sure that you're making the most of every possible opportunity. Now, the careers guidance as well, it doesn't stop there. It's not just for our placement students. Now, careers service run sessions that you can attend in any year. My advice to students is often start early. Go and speak to the careers team in your first year at the university, because though you might not know exactly what you want to do for once you've finished your degree, they can help you to make sure that you're getting the most out of your time, that you are going to as many different events as possible, that if there are taster events, if there are kind of short work experience days available or kind of weeks or holiday schemes available, that you know where they are, you know how to apply for them, and you can take advantage of them, so that by the time you get towards the end of your degree, you've had lots of different experiences, you know more of what you're looking for in a career, You can also show to employers that you've got all these really useful experiences, that you're really interested in your subject and what you want to do, and you're passionate about it, and that you've kind of followed through with this. So it just makes it easier when you're then looking for a job. And they still help our alumni as well. So you can come back for advice the year after you've graduated, the year after that, and they are still there to help you with CV workshops, with kind of interview skills workshops, and with making connections with employers as well. So it's kind of really important, and there's a lot of different facets to it, a lot of different things that we do with our students to help them in finding jobs after.
Yeah, that's something I keep looking back at all these webinars that we've been doing with this Expo, and it's like, I wish I took advantage of those support services.
Yeah, I wish I'd done more at university, but hey, you know,
yeah. Exactly. Learn from our mistakes and
yeah.
from them. A couple of questions, Charlie, if you don't mind. A lot of matric students in South Africa are writing their exams now in the next couple of months. Do you have some general feedback on where, I know it's very big with lots of faculty courses, different courses involved with Kent, but do you have a recommendation of where the grades should sit at matric?
Yeah, absolutely. At Kent as well, it's important to note that we're not just about the grades. Grades are important, you know, work hard towards your exams, put in as much as you can, because they are one of the easiest ways for university to assess your aptitude for a subject and for your place at the university. But we do also look at the personal statement that you write. If you're applying for certain courses, you might be invited to an interview. So it isn't just the grades, and that's important to realize, because different people present themselves differently with exams, and we appreciate that. We know that. We also look at teacher references. So we want to know more about kind of your whole background and what you are like as a student. In terms of the grades that we require, it does vary quite a bit from program to program. For example, a student who might like to take medicine as a subject, we would be looking certainly towards the top end of grades there, you know, 6s and 7s, heavy on the 7s. If it's looking at something kind of a business course, management, then kind of 6s across the board would be closer to what we're looking at. And some of our programs that are perhaps more vocational in nature, I'll take social work as a really good example. We're actually really interested there in seeing that you're passionate about the subject. One of the most important things for that particular course is that you've got a lot of work experience, that you've undertaken work experience in a social or care setting, and we will accept students with lower grades accordingly, because it's about the passion. It's not just about the academic attainment in your high school grades.
Charlie, next question that we got here was a student potentially looking at psychology, and was asking, is there limited numbers with the application, with psychology being, you know, very sought after degree at the moment, you know, the COVID and the world that we live in. Could you go a bit into the psychology, if you don't mind?
Yeah, of course. So one of the things to note at Kent is that with our psychology degree programs, you actually have a range of different courses you can choose from. Even as an undergraduate, you can specialize as an undergraduate. We offer a general psychology program. We also offer psychology with clinical psychology, which is really suited to people who actually want to go into kind of counseling, and kind of thinking of careers in therapy and actually working in like health services afterwards. We offer psychology with forensic psychology. So that's interesting for people who perhaps want to go and work with offenders in the prison services, those kinds of things, or just understand kind of atypical psychologies. And we also offer a business psychology program. So that's quite closely allied to various different management disciplines, as well as being a psychology degree. Now, because we have all those choices, we have quite a lot of seats available on our psychology programs. We also don't cap international student numbers on our psychology degrees, so you're in no way disadvantaged by being an overseas student. We don't have a limit on the places available. So I would encourage you to apply for a place if it's something that you're thinking of.
Brilliant. And to that student as well, please do get in touch with us. I'm going to put our contact details on Global, and I will share both Charlie's and all of our offices in Zimbabwe and South Africa for you all. So on the screen, you should have a barcode. Please, more than happy to take a screenshot of that, and we'll get in touch with you directly. If you have signed up for this webinar or you are sharing it, please do let us know, and we will send you the newsletter after this webinar with all of this information and the recording for this webinar. Charlie, I've got a couple more questions for you. In terms of applying for the international scholarship, what are the requirements?
Okay, so great question. So the requirements for the international scholarship, they're not in fact a hard and fast requirement. I'll explain what I mean by that. We accept students from any country onto the international scholarship, so you don't have to have met a specific grade boundary depending on the exams you've taken. So you don't have to have all 7s if it was IEB, you don't have to have all A's if it was A levels. We look at what grades you've achieved and kind of grade it according to your own country's system. So it can be from any country, it can be from any exam system. We look at how highly you've achieved in those grades, but we also ask students to write a short essay in support of their scholarship application. We do change the title of that a little bit every year, and we haven't launched the scholarships for application yet, which is great news because it means you've got plenty of time to look into actually applying to the university first before you need to think about your scholarship application. But it's a short essay. Sometimes it is asking you to talk more about your interest in the course that you've applied for. Sometimes it's asking you to talk about why you'd make a good scholar. It can vary. And if you have a look on our website at the moment, I think the question from our last year's international scholarships is actually still up there. So in answer, we give you 2 different areas to excel. We look at your academic grades from school. Those can also be predicted grades. So if you have not yet sat your final exams, or if you've sat them, but you've not yet received your final results, that's okay. We can look at teacher predicted grades, what grades your high school teachers think you will achieve. And we'll ask you to write that essay. So we'll look at your writing style, but also the content of your essay as well.
People listening in on that, there's some really important information that was mentioned on the scholarship in it. So please do take note of it and do get in touch with us. It's better to be very well prepared, and especially when you're applying to top universities in the United Kingdom, rather know exactly what you need to do than having to source information at the very end. And with that, Charlie, are there any deadline dates that people should be aware of?
There are some deadlines. The deadlines that apply to you really will vary depending on what course you are applying for. So if anybody here is considering medicine as a program, the application is quite early. Students have to apply by 15th of October this year if they would like to start their studies in September 2022. So if you are one of those people, get that application started, start writing your personal statement, and get that process started with Global Education, because they'll be able to help you through it. If that's not you, then good news is you have got a lot more time to get your application in. Now, there is a deadline for universities in the UK, but that actually only applies to British students. If you're not a British student, you can apply to the University of Kent anytime up until June throughout our regular applications. And again, you can do that through Global Education because they can help you with your application. They can talk to us directly as well. So you've got until June for all of our other degrees to apply. Even after June, if you didn't have a chance to make your application for some reason, we then open something called clearing, which is kind of round 2 of applications. Perhaps you did apply, but you didn't get placed on the courses that you wanted to. Perhaps you didn't apply. Either way, it doesn't matter. You can apply through clearing. In fact, all the way up until August, September, I still had students applying to Kent at the beginning of September and able to get their visas in time to come here for the start of term, or just happy to start their studies online and then come slightly later in the year. So there is a long time. Now, that doesn't mean you should necessarily leave it till the last minute. Please, 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 start as early as you can to give yourself more time with your application. Also, if you are hoping to apply for a scholarship, you do need to apply for your place at the university earlier, because you cannot apply for a scholarship with the university until you've been offered a place on your programme of choice. Now, our scholarship deadlines come up throughout the year. We generally have one in March and then some at the end of May or beginning of June as well. So ideally, you get your application in around mid-January. That gives the university plenty of time to process it and offer you a place. And then it gives you plenty of time to submit your scholarship application. So in terms of deadlines, they are a little different. There are a few different ones, but applying early is always great advice. It makes everyone's lives a bit easier.
And Charlie, one question from me to you. What's one place students should visit when they arrive at Kent?
Okay, so the first, not necessarily the first thing you should do, but when you are in your first week at university, there will be events going on all over the campus and lots of different opportunities to meet new people. Make sure you go to as many as you can timetable and as many as you're comfortable going to. But a really big one is make sure that you go to our welcome fair. That's where you can meet different student societies. That's where you can find out about all of our student support on the campus as well. And really make sure that you are setting yourself up for a good start. Our careers service are there too, so you can find out about the events that they're running, and you can just really fully appreciate how much there is for you to enjoy on campus. Because remember that although, yeah, it's really important you're coming for a degree and an academic qualification to help set you up, you're also there to enjoy yourself, and we want to make sure that you get that balance right.
I think that's some sound advice for everybody listening in on this webinar. And if there are no more questions, I think we've just hit the hour. And I'm going to say thank you to Charlie very much for your time this evening. It was great to have you on. Great to see you as well again. And we hope to see you in South Africa and Zimbabwe for a visit soon in the not too distant future.
I really hope I can be back soon. And thank you so much, George and Global Education, for hosting me today.
Brilliant. And to everybody listening in, please do reach out to either Charlie or myself. I'll put our contact details in the newsletter that you will receive. And by all means, please visit our website, visit University of Kent, spend time. And the best advice we can both give you is find what you really want to study and look at your passions and start from there. Best advice.
Definitely the best advice.
All right, Charlie. Cheers, everybody. Have a good night.